Edge at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, it's Election Day Eve, and right now, supporters of former President Donald Trump are waiting for him to take the stage in Grand Rapids for his final campaign stop. It's where he ended his 2016 campaign, and he's hoping it will serve as a good luck charm for his latest presidential aspirations.
I am not going to be a leader who thinks that people who disagree with me should be put in jail, that they are the enemy. I'll give them a seat at the table because that's what real leaders do.
Meantime, Vice President Kamala Harris is wrapping up her presidential campaign in the swing state of Pennsylvania. Harris also talked about her plans to lower health care costs and cutting taxes for workers, middle-class families, and small businesses.
The presidential race in Michigan shows Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris in a neck-to-neck race. And so in addition to Trump's event in Grand Rapids tonight, his running mate J.D. Vance campaigned earlier today in Flint.
Meantime, Harris's running mate Tim Walz campaigned in downtown Detroit tonight. Fox 2's Dave Kinchin has more on the candidates' final message to voters, and both these camps have brought out star power in their own way. Tonight, Bon Jovi.
Yeah, that's right. John Bon Jovi, Michael Stipe from R.E.M., some rockers in the house right now. The Detroit Youth Choir on stage. Let me step out of the way and give you a look at the Detroit Youth Choir. They're closing up the show here. Governor Tim Walz spoke earlier tonight, really a short time ago, and spoke for a short time. His message, get out the vote. He was speaking to men. He said, vote like the lives of the women in your life depend on it, talking about reproductive freedom and many other issues as well. He was introduced by Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Big Gretch, of course, that theme song playing as she came out to introduce her fellow governor. This has been a blue wall blitz this election eve. Vice President Kamala Harris barnstorming Pennsylvania, wrapping up her remarks in Philly. It was Governor Walz tonight here in Detroit. Listen in.
Here's the deal, folks. There's going to be a day you're going to be sitting in that rocking chair, and you're going to be rocking on that porch, and a little one's going to come home from school and ask, what did you do in the 2024 election, where the American experiment survived, where the rule of law survived, where decency survived? And you're going to be able to answer, every damn thing I could. Every damn thing I could.
Michigan, we deserve leaders who know us and see us. Kamala Harris is that leader, a commander-in-chief who brings people together, a fighter for working families, a leader who will always stand up for Detroit and for Michigan.
Governor Whitmer right there introducing Governor Tim Walz, who spoke for a very short time, very poignant message from his perspective. Get out and vote. He says there's plenty of time to sleep when you're dead. Polls open at 7 a.m., they say. And, of course, this is the closing argument for the Democratic side. On the Republican side, former President Trump still, we understand, yet to go on stage in Grand Rapids. His supporters out there really been waiting all day for him. So polls have been tight in all 7 battleground states, including right here in Michigan. Now, of course, it'll be time for the only poll that will really count, and we'll see. We probably won't know this time tomorrow night, but maybe we will. Of course, we'll keep you updated. The best election coverage in town right here, Fox 2 Detroit. We're live at Hart Plaza. Dave Kinchin, Fox 2 News on The Edge.
We're fighting for a retiree being able to afford steak night with their husband. We're fighting for the parents of children to be able to raise their children in communities that are safe and secure. We're fighting for people to be able to afford groceries. We're fighting for our fellow citizens because they...
Speaking in Flint today, Vice Presidential candidate Senator J.D. Vance. Vance rallied for hundreds of voters, blaming Harris for the immigration crisis at the southern border and inflation. Michigan is one of 7 battleground states that's expected to have a huge impact on the presidential race.
Our pre-election coverage is just getting started. Tonight on The Pulse, we hear from former presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg, as well as Fox News anchor Bret Baier on the state of the race. We're also asking you how you're casting your ballot this year. If you want to weigh in, scan the QR code at the bottom of your screen to vote. So far, most of you say absentee. It was 4 years ago. An angry mob descended on the TCF Center, as it was known in downtown Detroit. They banged on the glass and chanted, "Stop the vote," as election workers counted absentee ballots inside.
Yes, and it was scary for some. This year, though, additional security measures are being put in place in hopes to prevent a repeat of 2020. Fox News' Jessica Dupnack, she was there then, and she'll be there as well, joining us live with more on the precautions being made at Huntington Place. Jess?
Yeah, we were here, and there were some definite touch-and-go moments as folks tried to really bash their way through the windows onto the counting floor. Detroit Police brass assure that that is not going to happen this time around. We did a walkthrough here at Huntington Place earlier today. They unveiled their new security strategy.
So at this point, we'll come, they'll walk in, the security team's here just to ensure that there's no contraband.
One in and one out here at Huntington Place, and you'll need credentials checked here. And oh yeah, a title to go with those credentials.
The election workers, the poll challengers, the observers, and the media.
If you pass onto the counting floor.
If anyone's in this room, you're basically sequestered. And then if you leave out, you'll need to surrender your credentials.
This election, more uniformed Detroit police officers dot the premises to be used as a last resort if ballot counting issues come up.
Again, our only role is just to keep the peace.
Detroit Police Deputy Chief Franklin Hayes says this year's security playbook looks a little different compared to the 2020 election at the then TCF Center. Angry civilians stormed the place, demanding to be let on the counting floor, contesting the integrity of the election.
It's a little scary, you know, when you look out at that window and you see people banging, signs. Take us kind of back there. You were there as well.
I was there. It was certainly a learning experience, and from those lessons learned, that's why the plan has evolved.
Huntington Place is ground zero in Wayne County on Election Day, but there are 140 plus precincts around Detroit to keep secure.
We will have officers that are assigned to various polling sites as well, again, just to ensure that they are not impacted negatively, intimidated.
Deputy Chief Hayes says if you took anything from this, it's that they're doing everything they can from a security standpoint to make sure your vote counts, relying also on voters' eyes out there too.
If you see something that does not look right, by all means call us.
A lot of entry points here at the massive Huntington Place. Now, Detroit Police, they wouldn't give all of their trade secrets away, but said securing the perimeter is a big part of their plan. I'm told from folks on the inside, they're hoping to have all of the ballots counted here in Wayne County by 12:30 tomorrow night. We will see. We will, of course, be here every step of the way. Reporting live downtown Detroit, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
Well, Jessica, did they mention anything about compared to 2020, what the atmosphere, if they're receiving any sort of threats, if there is anything anticipated for tomorrow, or is it just right now just having the precautions in place just in case?
I think that it's important to note that they studied what happened back in 2020. They looked around the country at some of the other issues that we had during that presidential election. They wanted to fix what went wrong. A big part of their plan is really funneling folks into one entry point. That way they have tabs on who's coming in and who is going out. Another part to note is if you leave the ballot counting floor, you have to toss out your credentials and you're not allowed back in. So definitely ramped up, definitely a more intense feel compared to 4 years ago.
That's good, and hopefully everything will go according to plan. Jessica, thanks.
And if you plan on heading to the polls tomorrow, the good news is you won't be cold.
No, we have another mild day ahead, but there's a chance we could see some rain. Captain Rich Luderman has our forecast.
Taryn Roop, our next storm is coming out of the southern Rockies. Quite a bit of rain down around Dallas and St. Louis, streaming up to Chicago. But most of this heavy stuff is going to miss us well to the west. There have been some light showers around today, this morning, and again this evening. But there's those steady rains near the Windy City. We're also talking about weather in the tropics. Our our new tropical storm Rafael south of Jamaica right now, but expected to cross Cuba and get into the Gulf of Mexico by the end of the work week. We'll be watching that. Around here, not a whole lot on radar. Some showers refiring down close to Kalamazoo and Battle Creek. But today, 71 degrees for us. We're going to be even warmer tomorrow. Look at Traverse City, 68 degrees. There's your number today. Rainfall total, just 0.03 of an inch. Not a whole lot. Numbers are still very mild for tonight with that light southerly breeze, and the numbers are going to stay mild tomorrow. 63 Chicago, 63 up around Pellston right now. There's our next storm system moving through the western Great Lakes for Tuesday, so we're on the warm side of it, and that's why we will likely see numbers in the middle 70s. 62 tonight, a stray shower chance again tomorrow, up to 75, and then it's dry Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. More unsettled weather for the second half of the weekend. We'll check it starting at 4 a.m.
Crews arrived, went inside. They said within probably a minute, the flames were through the roof.
Tragedy in Southfield. A 70-year-old woman loses her life when a fire rips through this condo complex. Firefighters from a half-dozen surrounding communities were called to help put it out at the Chateau condo complex on Southfield near 11 Mile. We're told the fire started on a second floor and quickly spread. 16 units were directly impacted by the fire. 2 residents were treated at the scene for smoke inhalation. A third person had treatment at the hospital. The cause right now still under investigation.
The cars just kept going. They wouldn't stop. They wouldn't stop for the fires. About 4 fire trucks. They wouldn't stop at all.
I have one injured firefighter that's been transported to the hospital.
It was a large scene. 4 fire trucks responded to down wires at Greenfield and Midland on Detroit's west side. Despite the emergency lights, drivers continued to speed by. One driver sped through and pulled the wire, causing the pole to crash down. That driver took off, and a firefighter was taken to the hospital. We're told she's expected to be okay. That suspected driver is still on the run tonight. A fatal decision tonight. A 29-year-old man is dead after allegedly forcing himself into his ex-girlfriend's home.
According to police, she shot him. Police were called to a home on Bolam Street near 10 Mile and Groesbeck early this evening. They found the ex-boyfriend down the street with a gunshot wound to his abdomen. He was transported to the hospital by Warren firefighters, but he succumbed to his injuries. The ex-girlfriend was taken into custody for questioning. We're told the man and woman had an extensive history of domestic violence.